Nothing is what it seems. Rob, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
And I can hear you and I can see you. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Hello, members of the jury. This is me. Well, also me, I mean. This is Professor Wilco Freuger, an expert in applied image strategy. And his presentation, Nothing is What It Seems, is a must see for people who are searching for the truth and nothing but the truth. And this is also me. My name is Rob Janssen, and thank you for letting me sharing my story. If, as a young child, you have decided to start with living someone else's life and put your real soul and body under lock and key because you felt threatened or unsafe, there's only one way to get through this life without scratches. And that is lying to yourself. And that is why I became a pathological professional liar. So today, I take you into the world where nothing is what it seems. My lifelong disguise, both professionally and privately, has brought me a lot. It brought me success, attention, status, and a reputation being the cool guy, to say the least, but it ultimately brought me nothing. It took me to the dark side of the moon. There, where no one must live. The only life there is survival. Survival of fear, uncertainty, and a non-reflecting mirror. Narcissus looking in a black mirror, where your soul and your deepest self-being is drowned to the bottom of existence. Drowned by life, I learned my masterful survival skills. The stage, however, has always been my salvation. That's why I've been standing up for 60 years on and off stage, knowing that the ideal masquerade is created for me in the spotlights. Knowing that you are not only fooling yourself, but also your audience and your beloved ones. And now, the recently journey of self-discovery and healing myself started when I took off my mask. And then I had to explain to the whole world why the hell I had become this immoral criminal. I had lied and cheated everyone, but had been standing on stage with the big rounds of applause for almost 60 years. The perfect disguise for a life that reflected not what you are and who you are, but what you have made of yourself. And then every day you need more and more, and you need it again and again. My needle was the attention, and my audience my drugs. And I saw, recognized, and embraced the other lonely soul searchers, businessmen, leaders, liars, power junkies, success hookers, and status addicts. The ultimate goal was to manage your reputation in order to gain more success, power, money, sex or status, and so on, and so on. For me, it was a hellish ride, and still it is today. You probably can hardly imagine what it's like to have lived a life full as a grown man with an undercurrent of lies deceiving yourself and never asking yourself why the hell you are doing this to yourself and to the ones you love. Did I love them? So I constantly ask myself, what life was really the one, only, and true life? I really don't know. That question will probably never be answered, but all that remains for me is now to pass on my knowledge and experience about coming and becoming a professional liar to the people who, like me, have the ambition to be on a stage somewhere addressing an audience. Whether they do that as a leader and want to give the board or management department a new course of the company, or as a teacher or coach or business leader to draw the attention to a theory, a method, or a book they have written, or whether those who want to help humanity through more knowledge and sharing wisdom, or those who gets horny of the sexy life of attention and status. Every one of us has his own agenda, don't we? And now, does my life now end now that my moment of truth is over? No. I feel that my real life has only just begun, and in the years ahead, I want to share all my knowledge and experiences with people who may be losing their way themselves. or at risk of losing. So now I'm a man, a husband, and a father on a mission. For that, I had to expose myself, stop lying, and look myself straight in the mirror. And for the first time in my life, not calling myself to order out of fear, but learning to love myself out of love. Now every day feels like I have to learn to walk and talk again, because everything is unusual and strange to me. The freedom of speech and the freedom of thoughts and feelings of my heart and soul. It is an adventure with no boundaries and no roadmaps, because everyone who lives the life of another one loses himself and his truth. In a world where the truth is under strict direction and control, it is becoming more and more complicated. Can you pass the slide before this one, please? In a world where the truth is under strict direction and control, it's becoming more and more complicated for your audience to appeal to it, to interpret feeling. Thank you. In order to assess whether the person who reaches out to them in word, image, or gesture has the best interests of his audience in mind. I think I know where I'm talking about. For almost 40 years, I've been a ghostwriter for companies, CEOs, and marketing departments who wanted to spread their successfully orchestrated lies, often based on expensive and ill-conceived value propositions, next slide please, that hardly represented the truth before the culture or DNA of the companies I worked for. I saw this sea of sameness which hided all the masquerades behind the corporate communication that was spit out by the big media. I can assure you that a well-directed but above all authentic and truthful story is stronger and has more impact than the best communication plan can do. Because in a world where nothing is what it seems, telling the truth is both inspiring and confrontating. But then again, what is that truthful story that we all need so much? To find this holy grail, we as people, society, must find our way and what our real motivations are. What do we want with our world and humanity? After all, we only have one. The limits of growth and sustainability in the fields of energy, food, and our democratic values are now under continuous high tension. This transforming period will change our vision of who we want to become drastically, with or without your permission. It will happen, it already does happen. A large group of opinion makers and politicians are increasingly using science as the new religion to achieve their political goals. Therefore, science as factual truth is becoming less valuable, and the truth is only being violated even more in this way. And where those in power and those who control the media sell us their well-directed artificial lies, we will become what we think. Buddha said it. What we think we become. In a world where the fear of missing out and our dopamine addiction makes us so inaccessible to what is really going on, telling the truth is a matter of vital importance. We will have to accept that we as humans have a dark side that is fed by our addictive urge, but also our almost unfulfillable need for attention and the need to be someone. Someone who is seen and heard. Not heard, but heard. What you feel, you attract. Again, Buddha. In my world where nothing is what it seems, as a keynote speaker, I try to explain my audience the complicated relationship between the inside of the soul and the outside world that reacts and acts on it. Because it's about authenticity and identity that emerge through first impressions and lead to an image of yourself in the outside world. And there your footprint becomes your reputation, because you are not what you think you are what people say you are. So to build a reliable image, it is vital to analyze and recognize your real inner values and motivations and integrate them into your daily behavior. In the way you think, talk, or act, because whether people see you as an example, thought leader, or role model, they must be able to rely on you to set an example for themselves. Trust is the most valuable power we have to treasure. The great German philosopher Nietzsche once said, "Du sollst werden, der du bist." Become who you are. In the boardrooms of power and leadership around the globe, there is increasing talk of eliminating the ego that would rather have led us to all this misery. But I rather think that we should actually reassess the ego on the basis that good and evil coexist and also with each other. In my opinion, it is only a matter of daring to make the right choices. Good people do good things. It should be that simple. What you imagine, you create, for the last time, Buddha. We need an ego to know what right and wrong means so that we make choices that are made from sincere authenticity. Because no one is perfect and no one can call themselves a god in this world. We all make mistakes and must dare to learn from our mistakes in order to create a better version of ourselves. That is my mission. A better world starts with a better me. How to become a better version of yourself. How to become you. Good luck with that. I will end with a talent that kept me warm and safe from the evil outside world, and I will do it my way. And here my story ends, and now my friends, it's up to you though. Oh, the plot is probably not the same I had my somewhere over my rainbow. We all must play our part. May I suggest, not in a shy way. Oh no, not you. Oh no, not you. Please lead it your way. For what's a man? What has he got? If not himself, then he has not to say the things he truly feels, and not the one who kneels. The record shows you must take the blows and do it your way. Please do it your way.
Rob, thank you so much. I for a short moment, I thought I was the old Mickey Blue Eyes there. Thank you. I want to check from the tech team, do we have questions from the jury? So I have a question, because we've been talking a lot about artificial intelligence and the digital tools, and it's a rare moment for me to be able to ask this from a professional liar. How do you view the new digital tools, the deep fakes that people and organizations have in use today? What are your thoughts about those?
Well, I use them myself, those techniques, and I'm standing off and on stage to see what happens when people receive this information or this virtual world. And I think it will do an immense appeal on the intuition of people, what's real and what's not. So we educate our children, our audience for the future, that they have to feel from the inside if it's true and upright. And I think so that's an advantage for a learning process with many dangers. And I think, like presentations like this, we have to help people to make this difference between what is real and what is not, because, as I said in the beginning, nothing is what it seems. Okay.
Thank you so much. And now it is time to evaluate what we've seen and what we've heard today. So let's start voting. Jury members, you should have now received a survey with the opportunity to vote for your favorite candidate today. We will let you now go out into the breakout room to discuss.